welcome. I felt a strong call to come on today and connect. Gonna just give it a few moments for people to come onto the chat. And hopefully we don't have a whole lot of interference like we had in the last live stream. But if so, I'm always up for a challenge. Not asking for it though. I hope that you're all doing well. As we are in some pretty potent energy that is giving us a nice opening for change. Hi, Amy. Glad you're here. Yeah, I want to just connect with you all and just talk about what's been going on. I know that there's a lot, and you know, it's intended to create division, divisiveness, separation, and fear, anger, which is just a symptom, a derivative of fear, in my opinion. Hi, Jess. I'm good. How are you? How are you? Soul Tribe Unite. Exactly. So happy Friday night. Friday. I thought I'd come on and connect with you guys and pull some cards and just sort of, you know, help each other keep the vibe going. My heart goes out to all who are suffering at this time from great loss of lives, loss of a lot of loss, a lot of change, a lot of things brewing, a lot of energy stirring. And, you know, we do need each other to sort of help keep the balance. It has been quite exhausting, I will say. I haven't had a bad time, but I've noticed that just navigating the collective energy in the last few days, yeah, since 9/12. Rest in peace, Charlie Clark. Absolutely. And but my spirits are good, just physically tired, which I wanted to talk about that as well. Noticing the Schumann chart, noticing the fluctuations in energy. Oh, and here goes my crown. Here goes my crown already. Whew. A lot of energy fluctuations. So staying in a nice balanced state, connecting with nature. This is what I've been doing. Staying connected to spirit, staying connected to my heart, and being grateful for all that I have, all that, and what I mean, I have just the love that is in my life from friends and family and soul tribe, my health and well-being, and you know, just a safe space, safe place to lay my head to rest at night. Amy, same. Deep sleep last night, woke up feeling good, and then all of a sudden felt wiped out. Yeah, me too. I've been sleeping really well, and feel good through the day, but I say, I don't know, by 3 o'clock, I'm like, I've hit a wall the last 2 days. By 3 o'clock, I'm like, whoa, I gotta lay down. Of course, I have been kind of pushing my body a little bit because I need movement. and I want to help my leg and my heel, my knee heal. Hi everybody, welcome. I'm going to get into the cards because whoa, my crown is just on fire right now. I already feel the messages coming through, and so I just wanted to connect. I wanted to connect with you. Welcome everybody who is new. Let me just check and see if I missed anybody. Hello, hello. Welcome everybody who's new to the channel. This is a safe space. We have created the safe space for everybody to connect and just talk about their experiences, navigating the energies. We talk about astrology, we read cards, and just share our intuitive downloads. Does anybody have anything they want to share? Because dreams have been pretty vivid for me lately and very symbolic. I've had a lot of, and I don't do predictions. I know how changeable energy is, but some of the energies lately have been very predictable. So that's been difficult to, especially if it's predictable in a negative way. I try to change that energy like, well, there's other possibilities. There's another way, right? Pleiadian energy coming in very yes, Amy, same, very strong, very strong. And that is a big chunk of who channels through me, who I communicate with as well. So, and there's just so much love and so much gratitude from the ancestors as well, from our ancestors, as far as like we have hit some milestones recently in our journey, meaning that we have completed cycles and karma that they were not able to. And I think I talked about this. I don't know if it was in one of my lives or in a video, but I literally had been in tears, happy tears, because I could see and feel, you know, my father, my grandparents, all of my ancestors just standing in line, just like clapping, like, you did it, you're doing it, you did it, and just breaking through some really hard core lessons and belief systems and patterns, breaking through some major patterns. Agree or disagree? Can we respectfully take a moment of silence for the father and husband who died, Charlie Kirk? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll honor that because nobody deserves. Let's all take a moment. Let's take a moment and have a moment of silence for the tragedy of Charlie Kirk's life being taken. Send love to his family and his children and healing energy to them all. Thank you. Thank you for that. There's been a lot of turmoil that has been stirred up. Where do we want to begin? Okay. Yes, thinking about his family, absolutely. And you know, I just had this discussion with my sister today. My niece is 13, and she came home from school the other day. I guess it was yesterday. I'm like, my days are all mixed up. Yesterday, asking if we had seen the video footage of the shooting, and I did, but my sister did not. I didn't look for it. I actually had gone onto Instagram because I was posting something, and that was the first thing that popped up right there. And for children to actually have access to social media and be able to see something like that, that was disturbing to me. That has been passed on through just standard social media. I don't know if it's been taken down since, but it definitely was the first thing that popped up on my screen. And that we've got to have some grace here. Very graphic, absolutely. And for the, the young one, my niece is 13, to have to, they didn't have to, but they did watch the video, and it's being passed around in school and whatnot. That can be traumatic, very traumatic. Hello, everybody. Hi, Patsy. It's been a while. Hi, Patsy. Hello, Collins. Virgo 99 was a 9, an ending, yes, 910. A beginning, if so, what a horrible way to start. Well, I don't see the beginning. We're still in eclipse season. And so, yes, 999, because we're in a year 9, is definitely completion. This is a year of completion and ending, but we're in this, I want to say, almost kind of like a gnarly eclipse passage, and it's bringing to the surface a lot of things that we do need to take care of and clean up, and it's bringing to the conscious awareness of humanity what we need to change individually and collectively. Still so much work to do. That's right, Amy. Yes. But on the flip side, it does open up space for the new to actually be created. We can't create new without the old being completely obliterated. I can't say that word. Completely demolished. So 2025 is the year of completions and endings, and it is, we've got a lot to complete still, but we have been preparing for this. Yes, Amy. And really, if you sit with yourself and you sit with your heart and your soul, and I came here for this. I came here because this planet and this country, but no matter where you are in the world, this planet, humanity, has a lot of change, a lot of waking up to do, a lot of coming back together and realizing how connected we really are to each other, and that we do make a difference. Even if you are a hermit and you don't leave your house, your energy is still connected to the collective field. And so we all have a ripple effect, and it is quite the responsibility. Hello, Edward. Hello, Joey. Who am I missing here? Hello, Barnacle Boy. I love these names. It is a responsibility when you're consciously aware, like, oh, my thoughts, my reactions, my emotions have an effect on the whole to many degrees, more than we even know. We're going to be more aware of this as we go into 2026 and beyond, because I'll tell you, greetings from Texas. Hello, David. I'll tell you, the telepathy has been super strong, especially with the young ones. My grandchildren, these new babies coming onto the planet are old, wise souls that are so wide open. My grandson, his psychic senses and the telepathy and like all of it is just blows me away. Amy, we deserve so much better than where we are right now. Yes, but it's got to get, we've got to go to the bottom of the barrel to rise back up collectively. All right. Thank you, everybody. Hi. We've got a lot of people here today. It actually feels good in this chat. Thank you to the moderators for keeping it clean. Hello, Sophia. So let's tap in and see what messages want to come through for us this evening. And truly just, again, taking this space, taking this time to connect to each other at a heart level, at a soul level, knowing that we're not doing this alone. We're doing this together. And thank you, Jess. We're doing this together. And it means the world to me to have all of you guys and know that there are beautiful, wise old souls, conscious souls all across the planet doing the same thing and realizing this is a tremendous responsibility for us now, knowing that we actually have the advantage energetically wise, because the way I see the energy spirals and the consciousness of the collective kind of tilting or tipping over, this is why all the chaos, all the dark energy, we'll just say it that way, the powers that want to be in charge are really stirring some stuff up right now. Don't let it fool you. Don't fall into the fear. Don't fall into the fight. Keep your light on. Don't dim your light before your battery goes to sleep. Oh, Knight of Materials kicked its way out. All right, what do we want to say about that? I truly feel that if we take our time each and every moment of each and every day to really practice presence and conscious awareness of where we are. And I'm happy you're here, Patsy, too. Practice consciously being aware of where we are in our mind, where our energy field is. It certainly is going to make a huge difference. Again, I'm hearing don't get swept up in the currents of energy. Well, they're even saying current events, the currents of energy that are provoking separation, provoking fear and anger and divisiveness. Searching, seeking for the truth. That's where we go from here. And truly, the truth is revealed. It is part of what they're saying is it's part of the game, is that there are always foreshadowing. There is always a preview. The truth is revealed, but it's hidden at the same time. So you have to be really consciously aware of what truth and in your heart, tapped into your intuitive senses. This is how we're going to need to navigate life going forward from this point on. With there's so many tactics being used. And I mean, it's pretty obvious for many. I say it's obvious, but I don't know how everybody else perceives things. So I used to think that everybody saw and perceived everything the way I did, but then I realized that that wasn't true. Yeah, don't be distracted. Exactly, Patsy. And there's a lot of distractions out there, correct? But we have a lot of support. So if you're not feeling it, sit with it, call in support, energetic support, tap into the heart, talk to your guides, talk to the angels, get into nature. Mm. Allow your frequency to rise through the heart. And here's another thing that they're saying. Let me just get one more. Hello, Jimmy. Pittsboro, Mississippi. Welcome. Thank you. Whew. Where do our intuitive senses come from? Where is our internal navigational system? Where is it derived? In our emotional body, in our emotional field. That's interesting. I just saw something. I saw a flash. This is something they want to speak on. So if you have had some kind of, because I've even had this experience in the last week or two, because relationships, we've come to a karmic completion within soul contracts and relationships as well. And sometimes they don't end on a loving note, but it's important to not carry any bitterness or anger towards the other person. Understand that we're meant to, we signed up to connect with each other at a soul level, so to help each other awaken and clear old karma, really, truly. Is it behind me? The light's behind me? Okay. Yeah, they were blinking. That's interesting. So we've got extra energies here with us. It's important, and it's not saying that you've got to like get back into a relationship with someone, but to go back into the heart and heart space and be grateful for the gift of reflection, not to carry any kind of anger or bitterness or resentment with us, because that stays in the collective field. It's really, really important that for those of us who have been on this journey for a while and understand, you know, why we're here and what relationships really are in this life and what they're meant to, what the relationships serve. Tongue tied right now. This is beautiful though, because this is all talking about emotions and the heart. We're in this space, we're in a liminal space of suspension. May feel like you're kind of hung up right now. I know that there's been a lot, life was moving really fast and then it slowed down for me just recently. Luckily, because I'm really tired. So I'm actually grateful, but take that time and use it wisely, because there's reflections of the past popping up. Like I've been saying, with Saturn moving retrograde in Pisces, we're wrapping up the Pisces era. We're wrapping up old karma, Saturn, Lord of karma, Lord of time. So you may have either like flashes of insight or memories of the past. And for me, it went all the way back into my teenage years. I mean, it's been days and days, like different flashes of where I need to have more forgiveness and understanding what each incident really truly served for me and helping me get to where I'm at now and even elevating even more. So take this time and use it wisely, because it really will help you see your life and the people in it in a new perspective, a new angle. You may feel like everything is upside down right now, I'm hearing. Jess says, I'm okay with slowing down. Focus on what's important. That's right. And think about the children. Think about the next generations that are going to be taking our place on this planet when we're no longer here. We want to leave this place in a much more loving, peaceful, we want to have, if you want to leave a legacy, the legacy is how you made people feel. It's not what you said. It's not what you did. It's not how you looked. It's how you made them feel. And that truly is a legacy to leave behind. Muse of emotions. So we're invited to check back in to how we're feeling at every given moment. And we're humans. We're not always going to feel happy-go-lucky, joyful, happy. But when we're feeling stressed or scared or worried or sad or mad, to practice that sacred pause, allow the energy to flow in, show you what it really is trying to tell you, and release. So we don't have that ripple effect there with all of that. This also is speaking about emotional intelligence, which really is about responding, choosing to slow down, give yourself time, not reacting, but responding. So we'll have triggers. It's going to be like a shock. But instead of giving it back, reacting, projecting, sit with it. Sit with it. Give yourself 24 hours and guaranteed there's going to be more perspective there than the initial trigger. Beautiful. Overall, we have the 10 of Cups, 10 of emotions. That's our true emotional state at a soul level, not as a human level, but truly, it's just joy, it's peace, it's happiness. It is connected to one another, connected in love. Look, we have Temperance below that. Beautiful. We're given this time, this period of time to really balance ourselves out, balance out our emotional field, our emotional body, abundance. Abundance. And I am so grateful that I can really tap into and feel truly happy and grateful and blessed every day, even through the challenges. And if you asked me that last year, I probably would say maybe 50-50. There's still a lot of things being worked out. After going through this year, I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think anything's going to take me down for such a long period of time that it takes a while to kind of get back into your heart, if that makes sense. We're all human. There's times where we just get pulled into the pain body, pulled into the old story, pulled into the old trauma. And this is that completion year where we can really let a lot of stuff go. Forgive. Forgiveness is ultimate healing. Forgiving self. Forgive yourself for engaging. Forgive yourself for indulging. Forgive yourself because you didn't know any better, because you weren't fully aligned in the heart. Practice staying grounded. We're going to need that. Oh, that's a whole nother message, and that's going to come out. Oh, okay, we're going to use these. I haven't used these in a while. I love this message, though. That's why I go outside, and I try to go on a hike every single day. I'm very blessed to live right down the road from a beautiful lake with many, many hiking and biking trails. And I also live alongside a creek with more hiking trails. And so I take advantage of that. And that is my grounding. If the weather's bad, I've got candles. I have other things that can really help me ground. You know, fire is extremely grounding. So if you have a space to have like a campfire, a bonfire, or a fireplace and gaze into that fire, that's going to really change a lot of the energetic field within you. It does a lot. It's amazing. Mm. As I'm looking at my candle, which is so interesting. I have this candle, and it really shouldn't be. It says meditate. I got this candle back in 2018. And I was going through a massive Kundalini. Can you see how it's broken? I was going through a massive Kundalini awakening, and my whole energetic field was like, boom. And I would light these candles while I would do yoga in the morning. And one morning, my energy was just so fragmented and all over the place. And this candle just, it cracked. It blew up. It still works, though. Hopefully we don't have any more accidents like that. I don't think that I can get into that energetic state. But I used to blow up light bulbs just walking into a room. My friends at Solace Farms Day Retreat laugh because anytime I walk in there, suddenly the Wi-Fi doesn't work. Technology is not always my friend. They're like, do you just stay away from the computers and the Wi-Fi? And what do you call it? The Alexas that play music from room to room, they'll turn off when I walk in the building. They're like, is Paige here? It's kind of a joke, but that's not from fragmented energy. That's just, I don't know what that is. But I have another friend that has the same thing happen to her, so much so that she had to buy her Jeep. She had to buy her Jeep with no like she literally has to roll the windows down. There's no like extra electronics to it, because every time she would have a car like that, it would just short circuit and stop working. Whew. What else do you have for us? Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So these are all in reverse, but I got the message here overall. And it has to do with the Lovers, which has to do with relationship and choice. The choices we make within regards to our relationships to others. Close relationships, close connections. Because I do know that we have gone through this passage where, you know, if your relationship if you've been in an unhealthy relationship, or it's just not comfortable anymore, it's past its expiration date, it's going to get really difficult to try to see eye to eye, because you're no longer in alignment. It's not that one person's good and one person's bad. It's just that both pain bodies are like button heads. They served a purpose. And I had a lot of reflections on my previous marriage and what that purpose, what some of those really difficult times were telling me. And it's really hard to always see right away, but I could see my patterns in full operation and my wounds getting really amped up. At the time, I had hidden those wounds even from myself for the most part, but in hindsight, in reflection, it was right there in front of me. So it takes some time, it takes some work to really get to understand and understand why we experience the things we experience with other people. But when we can get to a place of neutrality and realizing that we are all brothers and sisters, we are all here to help each other, evolve and grow and shed old skin, shed the old, shed the pain, shed the trauma, heal. And it's not always in the most conscious way, right? That forgiveness becomes very natural. And that's really the lightening of the load here. I see Two of Pentacles. So this speaks of juggling. This speaks of juggling. It's almost like I'm sorry, my grandson's crying downstairs and it just threw me off for a second. But okay, it's juggling between like, I want to be right, I want you to see me, to, okay, what is this actually showing me? Practicing that pause, right? Practicing that sacred pause, hanging yourself up. Let me see this in a different perspective. Not for anybody to be right or anybody to be wrong. Notice that triad too, that I always talk about, that is very, very strong in the human psyche, a victim, perpetrator, savior. And I've seen myself play all three roles, because usually when you're victimized, eventually the energy turns around and you become the perpetrator, whether it's even in your thoughts and your judgment, and this person's that and that person's that. That's like a perpetrator energy being thrown out there. And then there's the savior complex. Let me help, let me save, or the rescuer, savior. We're not trying. The energy is pulling us through the past to show us where we've played all of these different roles. And how can we break that? How can we get to that place of neutrality, of balance? Like, I choose to be sovereign. I choose to be in my heart. I choose to see this from the highest perspective that I can. And Knight of Swords. Choose to communicate clearly. Choose to, and regardless of what you communicate your truth from the heart. It's up to the other person how they're going to receive it. But you at least said what you needed to say. And say it from the heart, not from a place of pain. And some are still on the fence about that. Here's the thing. Many of us are not fully aware of how much emotional energy is flowing through us from the past. This is why Saturn comes back through in its retrograde, going back through Pisces. Many of us, myself included, have blocks of time of our past that are forgotten, blanked out. Maybe you are seeing red, you don't remember it correctly, or you don't remember it at all. Saturn's going to go back through and remind us. But this is helpful because the soul cannot grow. The soul cannot grow and evolve fully if you're not fully remembering your past. See how she's blindfolded? So allow memories to come up, and if it's not in memories, if it's happening in actual physical experience, see it for what Saturn is trying to show you. This is not punishment. This is actually to help liberate us. Hello, everybody. Yes, Amy. Find happiness and fulfillment within yourself. And that's the important thing, because we all mirror each other. And if I'm not fully happy and fulfilled within myself, that it will be reflected to me from another person, through my relationships, through my family, through my friends, through all of the relationships. And we always like to project it back out like that person is just not a happy person. Well, in hindsight, there was a lot of stuff I wasn't happy about that I wasn't even looking at within myself. So it is important, yes, go with the flow, that's for sure. It is important that we slow down to really understand how life is speaking to us through relationships and through how we feel. Pisces energy is all about feeling. We're still in this Pisces eclipse energy, and it's asking us to get out of the mind, get out of the overthinking, the Virgo, Mercury in Virgo, the Virgo, like I need to analyze everything. I need to have all the data in order to figure it out. No, that's the South Node. That's what we are moving out of. That's what we are growing out of. We are growing into, evolving into Pisces, North Node, how we feel. Get in touch with how you feel. It's all about feelings, all of it. Look at all these cups. It's all about feelings. Whew. So let's see if there's any other messages that want to come through. I know there are. What do we want to talk about next? Yeah, and if truly, and it's interesting because many of us are also getting those memory flashes coming either in dream or in our waking time, and they are serving a purpose. If you can really go with them and reflect back how you felt, but not hold on to that. Understand why certain things happened the way they did. And, trust me, life's not fair. There were some really shitty things that were said to me and done to me in my lifetime. But I choose not to be in victim consciousness. I choose to use that now as a tool, as wisdom of learning about myself, knowing myself all the way. Know thyself. Yes, lots of deja vu. And not everybody's going to be at this level of consciousness. And I don't expect everybody to be. Trust me, I don't expect anybody to be. But this is where I'm at on my journey. And having those reflections is very helpful. Very helpful. But if you find yourself still kind of caught up in some kind of drama or some kind of situation, it's okay. No judgment. Trust me. Plenty of drama in my lifetime. For sure. Give yourself a break and step back and really ask yourself, what is this bringing up in me? What are these feelings? What are these emotions? What are they truly linked to? Deeper, further back. What flashes of memory are coming up into my, or bringing emotions to the forefront? That's the ticket. That's what the universe is asking you to look at, not what you're facing, what you're experiencing at face value. Now, we're also talking about pattern recognition, recognizing our patterns. Amy, I remember when you talked about feeling like you were going crazy a few years back. I'm starting to feel that myself now. This journey of life, we can certainly have moments where we just feel completely crazy, but don't compare yourself. Don't compare yourself to others. And oh my gosh, what did I read today? There's so much breakthrough that's coming through that's going to be the new status quo in the future. I don't know how far in the future, but in the future, all of these labels, diagnosis, ADHD, even autism, all of these things, it's like so contained or schizophrenia, for example. So many people are going through a spiritual awakening. Oh, who was it? It was this psychiatric doctor. I should have wrote down the name because it was very fascinating. And this was a long time ago. Did a study on the psych wards in the United States and sent out 6 patients, including himself, as false psychiatric patients. And they didn't have to say much to get admitted, and were observed just for like journaling and things. Like, they were diagnosed just for them being themselves. And some of them, it only took a couple weeks. They had to agree to therapy and medication, which they just pocketed the medications and stuff like that. But what the purpose was, when they got out and he revealed his study, of course, these hospitals were pissed. Eventually, they invited him and his false patients to come, or bring more false patients to come back, so that, and they said that they would be able to pick them out. And they ended up picking out many people as false patients, and he never sent anybody back. The moral of the story is the psychiatric, and I don't know, I'm not speaking about all countries, but I live in the United States, so it's human to human. It's perspective also. Mad scientist. Yeah, it was an experiment. Yeah. To snap out of it. Anyway, whose definition is crazy? Now, we can all agree that it is not sane to kill somebody or to cause harm to anybody. That is not something that's coming from the human heart. But there's such a long spectrum of what is sane and what is not, right? It's the observer's opinion. Exactly, Virgo 99. Anyway, I have a lot of articles that come to me recently that are really fascinating. I think I'm supposed to start taking notes again. It's not useless knowledge. New beginnings. Okay. And we have a solar eclipse coming up. Not this Sunday, but the following Sunday, the 21st, I think. That's also going to be pretty impactful energy. It's the second new moon in Virgo. The second new moon in Virgo, solar eclipse. So the Virgo-Pisces axis is flipped. Not necessarily, but the sun is now highlighting the Virgo aspect, the south node. So it's another push. It's another push for closure. It's another push for, and it's an invitation. It's not that everybody's going to have a karmic completion and everybody's going to end all their patterns or recognize their patterns. But many of us that have been consciously working these steps, this path for a while, a lot of us, it is completion. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be challenged, but even the challenges are going to be completely different. They're not going to have the same effect. We have new beginnings. With the crown chakra, new beginnings as far as spiritual insight, spiritual knowledge, wisdom, downloads. Ooh, cosmic knowledge I'm hearing coming in. And whenever I see spiritual strength, we're going to ask for more. Okay, I'm already getting more from that. All the craziness, right? All of the things that we had to let go of, our image, some people had to let go of I had to let go of all of my material possessions and my job and like everything that I was attached to at one time. I didn't have to, but I did feel like I had to, because otherwise I would be going crazy. I couldn't stay in this new energy in something that was not in alignment anymore. But spiritual strength, we have gone through so much. And that is not for nothing. There are blessings and new beginnings opening up for many of us that have gone through the ringer over and over and over again and stand back up, wave after wave crashing us down, stand back up, resilience. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. Look, we have accelerated motion there. And the energy we can't deny, and we have hope below that. Do not give up hope. Do not give up hope. And see, what I've been picking up is, and I guess I can just talk about it. Can I talk about this? Can I talk about this? It's been a little cryptic, but we will be having contact and visitation from other, some will call them aliens, ETs. It's not going to happen quite yet. It is happening in small doses to people who are ready. I've had my own encounters, not in the physical. Well, I've had things I've seen, but not like close up. But a good friend of mine who's a photographer who gets up at 4:30 in the morning every morning to take nature photographs came across something the other morning. So people are having like small touches of engagement. Anyway, there's a lot of propaganda out there, a lot of stories, a lot of propaganda. And everybody's truth is their truth. Everybody's experience is their experience. But do you guys remember when all the drones, the large drones were flying around over everybody? It was like kind of crazy. Yeah, I've always anticipated that contact. Yeah. Oh, you are strong, Patsy. Oh, I'm sorry about your cat. That is hard. I can't imagine losing my Luna. And I know she won't live forever. But okay. So, back to what I was getting. Because now there's all this leaked information from government officials and military whistleblowers, and there's so much information that's being flooded through everywhere now, right? And most people don't even trust or believe in mainstream media anymore, except for maybe the generation of like the baby boomers, and not even them. Like, it's a mixed bag. But anyway, if there happens to be a giant spacecraft that arrives anytime soon, and we're talking giant, like the size of Manhattan, and it's causing fear, and it's causing like a reason to fire nuclear missiles or other missiles, that's a simulation. That's a planned thing. These beings are not going to come onto this planet that way until humans are actually ready for it. So we've got a big show playing for us right now. It has been for a long time, but the show is getting more dramatic, is it not? It's more colorful, more this, more that. The human nervous system can barely take it anymore. So it's important, again, ground, get into your intuition, discern. Don't believe everything that you see and hear. We have AI that can generate and create all kinds of images, right? So this is where it's going to get really tricky for us to even know what's real, what's not, what is, you can tell by the energy it evokes, by the energy that it creates. If it creates fear, chaos, a stir, and then of course the government coming in like, let's save you, the military or whatever. I just see this as a potential play of events for us all. I'm just looking through the chat. Rest in peace, Ben. Jess, every news media has their own agenda. You never can get the true story anymore, I know. Well, but we can when we connect. We are also receiving our own channeled information. Be discerning with that too. Here's where it gets tricky. Be in the heart. Even if you receive intuitive downloads and it causes anxiety and fear, the messages I receive never bring fear. They're very calm. They are very loving. They are very supportive. Even if it's something that maybe they know me. They've been with me this lifetime and many others. How I'm going to react and respond to the information that I'm given. Hi from Maine. Don't be deceived. Amy, yes, I'm excited because either way, things will change, and change is what we need. Exactly. And I actually, when I received that information, I kind of got excited, like, ooh, I think we need this because it's going to backfire. It's going to backfire on them, and it's going to be, I mean, maybe not fully, but see, human consciousness is, we're getting so much high frequency energy. You can't deny. That's where like both sides start to really, like the energetics to really help us out of amnesia and into our true power. We have the technology built in us, in these bodies, to pick up and receive and even telepathically communicate and more. It's getting revved up. It's getting started up. Virgo 99, they have been prepping us with the release info. They've had that info for a very long time. They have an agenda. Exactly. They have an agenda. And it dates back, way back. I mean, this is very strategically planned. But don't be fooled by that, because there's also a plan in place for human consciousness to see through. That veil is like very thin. Everything nefarious they have been trying to implement in their last-ditch efforts has backfired. Exactly. Things are being eclipsed out. Yes. Atlas right on time. Yeah. And so it's kind of like, for me, it was like, not a wake-up call, but it was like, all right, you're getting your rest now, because like things are really starting to rev up in a big way, like on this planet. And I don't want to get caught up in the anxious or nervous energy. I want to be that really calm space and place, not just for myself, for my grandchildren, for my family, for my loved ones, for everyone. I want to be that change. I want to be the part of like, I see you. I see exactly what's happening here, and there's nothing to worry about. What was it I said in the last video? The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. That is what throws us off every single time. Sleeping not good. No fear. Yeah. Okay, Roosevelt. What else do we want to say about this? Tell us about the new beginnings, please. So, there's a lot of things that are glitching out, too. Meaning, like, I don't know, it's kind of creepy. The old Matrix really just glitching out. Maybe that's why technology just zaps out when I walk in the door. Not saying we don't, like, I use technology. Obviously, I'm here communicating with you guys now, and it's a great tool, but we don't want to give it all of our power. We want to allow our own natural technology to come online as well. Okay. Another thing, if you're really curious about getting previews or more truth, you could listen or pay attention to some of the things that are said by our appointed leaders and whatnot, because part of the game is they have to somehow disclose it, but it's in a way where most people don't take them seriously. Do you know what I mean? What else? Anything else? Ooh, the cards are jumpy today. Okay. Going back to the current energy. The current energy and the current experiences. We have the Queen of Swords in reverse with accelerated motion. So whatever we're going through with these eclipses, that's like bookends. It's a course correction. If you seem to have veered off path or fell asleep at the wheel, the universe is like, wake up and get back on path kind of thing. So that you can really, truly see clearly. Your senses are sharpened and you have a higher perspective. That's why things are moving so quickly. I mean, events just popping off left and right. Give yourself plenty of time to rest. The body does take a little bit longer to catch up with the energy shifts and frequency shifts. Drink lots of water, take good care of yourself, get as much rest as you can, get in nature as much as possible. Do what feels truly natural for you at this time. New beginnings. We're back in how we connect with each other in relationships. And with Mars and Libra right now, Mars is the fire. Mars is the passion, the will, the drive, but it also is the energy of battles and fights and wars. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word right now. Probably whatever, words. Hi, Tori. So be mindful of that energy. We have some aspects of, and Libra is the energy of bringing things back into balance. Mars doesn't like to be in Libra. Libra's like harmony, balance. Let me check. Am I being codependent? Am I being, am I being wishy-washy? I'm hearing, oh, interesting. The energy of Libra has a hard time committing and making decisions, making like a commitment to something, because it's like trying to constantly get a balance there. We've got Mercury in Virgo, South Node in Virgo, and coming into a second new moon in Virgo, solar eclipse. That's a lot of mental chatter, a lot of things. I gotta have all my ducks in a row. All of this has to make sense logically. Logic. Pisces, like, get into the heart. What's it feel like? How's it feel? Because you can totally be in mental loops over and over and over again. Going into relationships, same thing. And I've been through the ringer here too. Old patterns come up when certain people start acting a certain kind of way, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know. Suddenly, I don't know about that, right? Old patterns, old judgments, not discernment. Give yourself time to practice the pause before you jump to conclusions, because everybody's going through a big change right now. There's new beginnings here, and we've got the Strength and the Knight of Cups. I like this. I like this a lot. When you can come to a balance within, and this Strength, you see how this is like, she's half lion, half human with the lamb. This is taming that ego, that inner beast within, and bringing it to a place of inner strength. A place of inner strength, so that you can clearly express and share how you feel from an authentic and true space. Virgo. My mental is always chattering. I saw that. That's funny. Who's asking what's my sign? I am a Scorpio sun, Libra ascendant, and Leo moon. Still waters run deep. Yes. And back to what I was talking about. Spirit, your higher self, the cosmos, is blasting us, downloading us with memories of the past. It can be childhood friends, relationships of the past. Just like, for me, it always feels like I'm having a full life review. Like when you die, you have a life review. I've had multiple of them. I've had near-death experiences. And it's like a whole movie script of like what you did in your life, how you impacted others, how you made others feel. This life review is while you're still alive. First, it's how did you feel? How did you feel in all of these interactions that your higher self, that spirit, is bringing back to your conscious awareness? And then asking you to flip it. How did you make the other person feel? How did you react and respond? Truly helps a lot when you can allow those flashes of memories, movie clips, And the feeling, allow the feeling to filter through, because this is a cleansing, a clearing. It is forgiveness at its finest, which is the purest form of healing. Forgiveness of forgive those. They did not know what they were doing. You didn't know what you were doing. You are now at an elevated state of awareness and consciousness. You are now in your heart. And that just is a full pass of moving forward. How's my knee doing? It's not fully healed yet, but it's much better. I can bend it, but it's still, I can't kneel on it. I can't put pressure on it. It's going to take a while. It's still bruised and a little swollen. It was a bad fall. Now, spiritual strength. We have Page of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords. Oh, well, that just ties in with the message I was just giving. Basically, this is what spiritual strength is. To allow yourself to see yourself in a new light, see others in a new light, bring forgiveness to yourself and to others. It unties that cord, that tie, that pain body is even tied to. It lightens the load. It makes you feel so much better and so much more connected, not just to yourself, but to the spiritual realms. I'm going to ask about this why is the Nine of Swords here? Oh, anxiety. You know, we're going through, how do we say this without, I don't like using the words, and other people use this word, spiritual conflict. Let's use that word, spiritual conflict. So there are a lot of different energies and entities swimming around us, around through the cosmos. Some are high frequency and loving, and others are really stuck in spaces where they are really just wanting to cause more pain. And this includes psychic attacks, and they can come through just the mind, the mental chatter, and it really causes a lot of anxiety and fear and anger and distortion. Thank you. It causes a lot of distortion. So check yourself, constantly check yourself for that. If you've got any of that going on, it's probably not you. It's probably something that you're picking up that you want to really get in touch with and have that energetic boundary for sure, because that's not fun when that happens. But it is definitely tied to us. We give it, we feed it. These are entities that want to be fed. And so we feed it with our fear, with our anger, with the emotion that it wants from us. It's not a bypass. If it's really tied to something that you need to heal and work through and eventually forgive, do that work. But if it's old stuff that's like coming back and it's like, oh, no, I'm not giving you any of my time, energy, emotion, space, none of that. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. A few years back, maybe even last year, a few years back, I had multiple back-to-back psychic attacks. And I felt like I was a victim to them. And it wasn't until I realized that I was actually giving it fuel. They're like hungry ghosts. What's the saying? Hungry ghosts with pinhole mouths that just want to feed off of your pain and your it's distortion, and it causes you a lot of distortion and confusion. And you can get you can get sucked into this through people's social media stuff, reels and things that are talking about demons, and this is like all of this stuff. Yeah, there are things that are demonic, but do you need to feed it? Do you need to give it your time and your energy? Because that's not healthy. That's not going to do you any favors. It's an invitation for more. They're like, oh, you latched on. Oh, let me see what else I can get from you. So be mindful of all of the different energetics and entities and energies that love to play with us. And they play through every human being. You can see it in their eyes. You can see even your loving grandma, right? When she's having a moment and she's feeding into something that is based in fear or anything attached to her pain body, the eyes change, the demeanor changes. Suddenly there's an entity attachment, or I mean, I don't even, yeah, I mean, basically that's what that is. We all have that. Dark eyes, yes. The eyes get dark. You can see, if you can see auras, you can see like a fuzziness or a shadowy energy around. And that's one of the benefits of like having the vision to be able to see people's auric fields and stuff. You're like, you don't even need to read their mind or tap into their energy. You're like, okay, this person is either processing a lot, they've let something in. You know, we've all done it. It comes in like a thought. You let a thought in and you go with it, and suddenly it'll take you somewhere because it's feeding off of your pain body. It'll grow and expand, and suddenly the narrative and the story is so much bigger and nastier, and whew, there's that. And so people will call that spiritual battles, and that's definitely, I mean, things that happen here in Earth School also happen in the other fields of energies as well, for sure. We went and saw the new Conjuring movie last night. Purely entertainment, but oh my God. Yeah, so like that. Oh my. Virgo 99. Sometimes I try to look back at unpleasant childhood memories and try and imagine what my mom was going through at the time. It helped me heal some of them. Yeah, right. And that's what I do too. I try to put myself in the other person's shoes because it's very helpful. And then not to dismiss whatever happened, but it helps. It's like a release. I'm no longer going to hold your feet to the fire, so to speak, because that doesn't help us. That keeps us stuck in that energy. Paula, that sounds like what's happening to my grandma. She's an alcoholic and going fast. Oh yeah, I'm sorry to hear that too. Yeah, alcohol and drugs would be one of the number one invitations for these entities to come in, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, alcohol is called spirits. Yeah. Invites all the spirits in. And that's not fun. That's not fun at all. It's not fun for the person that's indulging, and it's not fun for anybody that's around them. Also with dementia, my grandmother had Alzheimer's, and before she passed, I saw it, I saw some crazy entities come through her and try to scare me. And my grandmother's like the sweetest woman. And I knew, I was like, this is not you at all. I don't know who you are, but go away. And eventually they went away and my grandma came back. I'm sorry to hear that. It is hard. It's hard to watch anybody go through that. But definitely, if you do drink alcohol or you partake in any kind of other mind-altering substances, be careful, especially now, because this energy is just like, it's riddled. more so than ever before. Jess, going through that right now with migrams. She's reliving a lot of her childhood memories because it's all she can hold on to. Yeah. Yeah. So we do want to, like, again, have patience and love for everybody going through this, especially those who are way older and they're not fully on board, like consciously aware or fully on board with what's happening. It's got to be quite the trippy ride for sure. For sure. Dementia, not alcohol. Yeah, that happened with mine too, with the dementia. Trouble with memory. I always like to help with the memory by either bringing photos, just giving my time and energy regardless of whatever was going through. That usually helped at least a little bit of a breakthrough. Touch, touching their hands, giving them hugs, giving them love. It really does help. It also causes a lack of B1, which can cause dementia. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, photographs. And it's not just any photographs. You can intuitively know, like, key photographs that would be like, oh, and don't expect it to last, but it will. It's like a rise and fall. Rise and fall. My heart goes out to everyone going through that as well, for sure. And the power of touch is important. I didn't realize even, I knew it. I guess I'm so humbled at this point to be able to work in this field, like, for a living. And I was in Moon Circle a couple weeks ago. It wasn't this past Moon Circle, but there was one ceremony where I went around to each person as they were laying. We were doing like a sound. The end was like a sound healing thing. And I just intuitively knew, like, I would hear, like, touch her back, for instance. And so I would touch this person in a certain place of their back. They told me weeks later that they were having so much pain in that area of their back. And when I touched their back, and they never told anybody, when I touched their back, it's suddenly like they had no pain, and they still don't have pain. She's like, I don't know what you did. It was like a miracle. And I'm like, I didn't do, like, I don't know. I was just guided to touch your back. This is how I experience it, but it's profound, the touch. And when you're really tapped into that energy, it is powerful. It is powerful, for sure. Jess, she has an aura frame next to her recliner. All her kids and grandkids can upload pictures so she can see everyone. That's nice. And my mom just got one of those for Christmas last year. Thank you for the reminder, because I want to upload some photos for her. Let's see if there's anything else. What state am I in? I'm in Pennsylvania. Do we have any other messages? We do. Oh, okay. We're going to get some closing messages here for us all. Stay in your heart. We've got this. We signed up to be here for this. We are strong. We are more powerful than we know. Just like I was saying, I had no idea that the power of my touch was that profound, because people don't tell me. I don't get feedback. I don't ask for it. So when I did, I was like, wow, But I guess people wouldn't come to me for Reiki and stuff like that if it didn't do something either. Yeah, it's heavy. This energy right now is heavy. That's why the messages I keep getting are like, rest when you can, take good care of yourself, really, truly, in all ways. Epsom salt baths are always my go-to when I feel like my energy field is like way off. It helps kind of reset everything. Any final messages for us, please? We got letting go and grounding. Most likely, I'm seeing your comment, Kelly. Life is stressful, real bad sometimes, to point I don't know where to turn. I haven't felt like myself at all. Most likely, what I'm picking up for you is that you are in what people would call the chrysalis or the cocoon phase, which is a transformation. We don't feel like ourselves. And so it is important to take as much time to yourself as possible. If you imagine the caterpillar and what kind of a transformation the caterpillar has to go through to turn into the butterfly, this is you. The caterpillar turns to goo and mush, and the whole body like starts to transform and wing, like it's a process, and it's a messy process, and it's not fast. So give yourself time and space and grace and love, because you will return more transformed, stronger and better, your true self. Trust that. Trust that. Letting go, grounding. And you're not alone. You're not alone at all. Past, present, future. Okay. Overall, sacred space. Give yourself sacred space. Create a sacred space for yourself. And mentally know, this is my sacred space whenever your own cocoon. This is for all of us too, because we do need to have our own sacred space, our energy field to ourselves, to know what it feels like to be in our energy. When we're living with people or interacting with people, we are entangled in everybody else's energy field. I mean, we're all connected anyway. Know what is yours and what is not. Give ourselves that time, that space. Ground, practice things, grounding techniques. Go outside. Outside is the best. That is your natural frequency, nature. Get your feet on the ground, barefoot on the ground, touch a tree, connect with plants, look at the clouds, look at the stars, watch a sunset. Get yourself grounded. Make that a ritual, a practice, even if it's for 5-10 minutes a day. But I always like hug a tree. That's right. And we're all here to support each other here as well. Absolutely. Letting go. We're in a letting go phase. Absolutely. Eclipses, course corrections, let go. Letting go of the past. But sometimes we have to feel and re-experience the past before we're really ready to let it go. You know, it's interesting. I've been going through like my clothes, old clothes, and there's like certain like items that I really, really loved, but they just don't quite fit me like they used to. And I'm a lot older than, and so like, I don't put it in the let go bag. I'm like, maybe I'll wear this one day. And then another year goes by and I see the same article. Now I'm at the point where it's like, you know what? I've got to let this go. I've got to create space for something new. right? Something that will actually fit me now. It's like we are we're not wearing clothes that are too tight. Right? We're taking those tight clothes off and letting them go so that we can have something that actually fits us better. Past, present, future. This is another this is another trippy thing. You can call it trippy because right now we are going through so many energetics that are taking us into the past. We're also in the present, and we can also see our future. Don't want to predict you don't want to create a predictable future based off of your past. This is the point of having this going back into the past and retrograde, go back into the past or review the past to let go, so that we're not carrying those belief systems, those thoughts, those feelings, those emotions about ourselves, about life, about others, and continuously create a predictable future. That's never going to happen. I'm not good enough. Blah, blah. Like the stories our mind tells. You may be hearing like too much in the mind. I noticed last week, I said to my friend, my inner critic is so mean. She is mean, and I see her. So I've had inner dialogue with that voice that says those things to me. And she has kind of backed off. Carrying those heavy emotions only causes suffering. Exactly. And when you can finally really let it go and believe that there's something much better, and it's the true me coming alive, it's so liberating and so freeing. But it's a process. And it does take us through some passages that feels like we're dying, because that is the process of death and rebirth, is that you're dying while you're still actually alive. The ego, the belief, the persona, the attachments, and the patterns begin to fade away. And it doesn't happen all at once. It's in layers and stages and phases. It's happening a lot faster, though. It's happening a lot faster. And what I'm also picking up, and from experience, from doing sessions and readings for people, the younger generations, the younger generation than mine, I'm from Generation X. The younger generations are going through this way faster. So, and we've got a lot of planets working with generational karma. And I had to get an understanding that generation's karma is completely different than my generation's karma. So the millennials have Pluto and Scorpio. Whew, that's a rough one. It's like as soon as you create something and you have something, it just gets taken away over and over again. Something new, I'm going here, and it's taken away. That's a tough one, but you guys are going to rise above that and really start to, don't take the old narrative and the old story along with you, past, present, future. Okay, thank you for asking that question. How do you get a reading? So I will leave in the replay in the description box my email address, but just email me and I will send you all the information, the prices, and the different timing of the sessions. My email is BeTheChange333 @comcast.net. BeTheChange333 Send me an email. I will respond, and we can set it up that way. I'll send you the pricing and the different options for that as well. So thank you for asking that. I always forget. I always forget to promote myself, right? I am open for readings as well. Yes, Paula, hold space and compassion for yourself. Nothing is going to be perfect. Yeah, you are perfect as you are through every part of the transformation. We all are. Get to know that inner critic that says otherwise. Don't compare yourself to anybody. That is the worst thing that you can do. Trust me, I know. And it's hard, especially if you've got friends and family and siblings and whatnot. And you're like, but they seem like they're really happy. Just wipe that clean. You don't know. Everybody's journey is unique to them, and their paths are different. So we all go through these passages. It is a rite of passage. It is beautiful. And gosh, we're all doing this, aren't we? We are truly, truly um, evolving fast, really fast. Oh, good. I'm glad that Kelly says, I love the calming energy of this room. It has actually calmed me down. Good, good. Yeah, surround yourself with people such as this group. There's so many in the spiritual community. I mean, how do we say? There are a lot of great mentors out there also that can help you regulate and be like, I'm not the only one going through all of this. There are a lot of amazing teachers out there, guides, and it depends on where your interests lie. I don't even know, like I'm blanking out right now as far as who to share, but maybe some of you guys also know, like Divine Feminine in the chat tonight. Yay. Well, thank you guys all for being here, joining. I feel this energy is amazing, and I feel like we do a lot of beautiful energetic work when we connect in spaces like this, in this room together. Let's just take another moment to just send out to the collective field love, compassion, empathy, harmony, unity, because we do all need each other. And recognizing that there is a strong pull to divide us all, that's just a stronger desire and a stronger ambition, a fire within me to say, oh, no, 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 we're coming closer together, because we are all brothers and sisters, just walking each other home, helping each other out through this this crazy time here on the planet. And we're gonna create something brand new for ourselves and the generations to come, and life on earth will be so much better for it. What is happening now, what is being dismantled, what is being disclosed, what is happening, which seems like apocalypse, is actually what needs to crumble, what needs to dissolve. Pisces energy is the last sign of the zodiac. It is completion also. It is the dissolving of what no longer serves. A lot of the things do not serve humanity. They only serve those who are trying to have the power and money in their pockets. And it's very obvious. Everybody knows it. So we're getting our power back. And we're going to recognize how much energetic power is on this planet now, meaning frequency and energy. We don't need to pay, we won't need to pay for energy in the future. And we're going to be astonished by how much energy we actually generate ourselves. So, let me see what you guys are saying here. Oh, thank you all. Thank you, everyone, yes, for being here and connecting. Always love, and have a beautiful weekend. Yes, yes. Deep breaths when we need to. Whenever you feel like you're being a little dysregulated, that's the quick help, is just stop, notice. Am I breathing? I noticed what my past, when I would be so stressed, I'm like, I'm not even breathing barely. Take breaths. Oh, thank you, Virgo. Thank you, Amy. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Is there a tarot card class that one has to take to be able to read them? You know, that's a great question. I never took any classes. I just started to realize that I'm very clairaudient. I started to realize that I was being talked to. And it's hard to put into words, but I knew it wasn't me. And that's when tarot came into my world, and I started to try to understand what they were saying through the cards. It was just, for me, it was just an organic process. Like, I just naturally knew, because I have a lot of guidance through the clairaudience. But there are many it's not a bad idea to at least understand the suits, understand the cards, the basic Rider-Waite tarot, the meanings of the cups and the swords and the wands and the pentacles. But there's such a broad expansion to all of the meanings. But yeah, definitely worth looking into for sure, because it's a beautiful divination. It's my favorite divination tool. Very helpful, and it really helps you connect to your guides, your higher self, and to spirit. So definitely give it a try. Yeah. I love all my decks. I have so many. I'm going to bring new ones out for the next one because they're in my office and I'm like, they've been sitting in there for too long. Well, I think it's time for me to go lay down. You guys have a beautiful rest of your night or day, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for tuning in. Sending you guys all so much love. This was a beautiful connection. I love it. Love it. Have a great weekend, and we'll reconnect soon, very soon. So much love. Take care. I'm happy you made it too, Tori. Bye.